folks, these sound effects are not working at the moment. I do apologize, but I do have mini meters, so there you go.
Dave's been taking steroids, so his head is now 7 times larger than everyone else.
Fucking huge head, dude.
It's huge.
Big brain, dude. Big brain.
Big brain. Yeah. You know what they say about big heads.
Might just have to unplug it and plug it back in. The USB. Okay. He knows how they work, folks. It's the Producer Lounge, guys. TPL 173. About to sneeze.
It's gross, dude.
I do apologize. Folks, we are joined once again for round 2 by Chef Wamp.
Let's go.
Let's fucking
Clappy,
go.
clappy, 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 clappy. No, still nothing.
It's been years since we've seen you last time, Ethan.
Yeah, it's been forever.
Way too long, right?
Welcome back.
Welcome back. This will be good. You had a whole month to learn 4 new techniques and talk about those on the pod tonight.
Oh man.
Techniques that have never been done before.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Crazy that it looks like it's coming through, but it's not coming through.
I feel like I can vaguely hear something. Oh yeah, no, it's just
there.
really, really, really quiet.
Turn the volume up on the PC, the little volume keys. Yeah, you gotta turn it up to 80. I borrowed it and I put it all the way down. There it is. Hey! Yeah. Sorry about that, folks.
Turn it up to plus 80 lufs. That's what we usually sit at, right?
All right, the studio audience now is mic'd up.
All right, God damn it.
Did it. It's a professional pod.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Boo.
All right, guys.
Studio audience didn't like that one.
Calm down.
Quick shout out. We got a couple follows here. We got Ice93.
Ice.
Thanks for the follow.
93.
You were now listening.
Tin Man. Don't trust the Tin Man. Okay. Shout out. And shout out Fox Music.
What's up, Fox?
Little Foxy boy.
And what's up, Tin Man? You know Tin Man?
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Ooh, the homies.
Oh,
Do you know?
he's coming through.
Do you know
Homies in chat.
Ice93?
I don't know about that one. It's
Okay.
probably somebody with a weird name, like
Yeah, for sure.
their old gaming name.
People with usernames.
Right.
It
Their gamer
might,
tag.
if you guys are into MMA, it might just be Chuck Liddell, the Iceman,
Oh, it's
secretly lurking in a
Tin
music
Man.
production.
Don't rust.
I see.
Got him.
I see. Checks out.
Tin Man the Don, we trust.
So how you been, dog? How's production been and shit?
Staying busy, grinding. I've been working with a lot of vocalists lately, so that's really fun.
Fuck yeah.
Like hip hop dudes or like singer?
One hip hop and then 3 UK grime artists.
Oh, nice.
So,
Fuck yeah.
yeah.
That's cool.
Sounds sick.
Yeah, I love, like, the workflow is a little different, so it's nice, like, doing different stuff, and, like I make, like, a lot of, like, bare bones tracks, and then send them to them, and then they send me the vocal back, and then I just, like, flesh it out.
Right. Kind of chop it up and do some fun things.
I'm going to be annoying and ask you to put your mic well closer to your mouth.
Oh, shit.
That'll be helpful. It's going to be annoying to you, I understand.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It'll
be helpful.
It helps the audience.
Yes.
That's sick. Yeah, working with a vocalist is definitely a whole new bag of tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm jealous. I had a little phase where I was like, I want to like hit up a singer and get like an original like vocal to work with. Stop doing like splice, whatever random shit, which is fine. That's still always fun. But I was like, I just had a little phase where I wanted to do that. And like the next day, a girl on TikTok popped up and she's like an Australian girl and was like, yo, anybody down to like work on a song with me? And I like didn't check out any of her music or anything. And I was just like, yo, let's do it. And she sent me a vocal and it was like, not very good. It's like
that
really,
will happen.
and I feel horrible saying that, but it was hard to listen to, you know, like.
Yeah.
And I tried, and I built a song around it and everything, and like she was super pumped, and she was like, "Yo, let's release this," and I had to be like, "Ooh, okay, how do I?"
You went
what
wrong
do I do?
right there out of the gate. You went wrong. Don't get them pumped on a tune,
Yeah.
because you're gonna make it sound cool.
Right.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh my god, this is insane! I wasn't expecting this."
I've had some moments like that where people are like, "Oh yeah, I would love to work on some music," and then you like get them in there and they start singing. You're like, "What the fuck am I dealing with right now?"
Mhm.
Oh no. Which, to be fair, it is very hard to sing into a microphone and
Oh my
sound
God.
good.
There's a reason
Yeah.
I produce, and I'm not a
Yeah.
singer.
When
Yeah.
you're like in like a DAW kind of context, not like live where there's like the reverb of the room helping you and like all the different things. You're dealing with the dynamics of their voice,
Yeah.
which is like a whole fucking like specialty to get good at if you're a singer. And then their tone, obviously,
Yeah.
and being able to carry a tune. It's tough.
Yeah,
It's tough.
it's brutal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard out there.
It's been nice working with like experienced vocalists. I don't really have to worry about it too
Yeah.
much. So
Mm.
and then like they're always down to like change stuff if I need or any of that kind of stuff. So it's
Mhm.
nice.
Mm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, I got a homie in town, Barris.
Shut up.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Barris. I had him over here to do a tune one of these days, and he was like,
Is that's a hot sauce?
recorded it at Hot Sauce Rabba.
Yeah, hot sauce Rava.
It was a good tune. Robbing all the hot sauce. It's a goofy one. But when he recorded, I was just like, thank God.
Yeah.
It's just like these like nice steady waveforms. Like
yeah.
you're like, fuck yeah, thank God.
I remember
Have an idea of what's happening here.
right a few months before that or whatever amount of time you had a few other vocalists or something
Mhm.
come through, and I think one of them was actually like solid, but I remember a few just being like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
Dave's dealing with that," and that's
Yeah.
when I lived like right next to your studio, and I just heard it all, and I was like, "Ooh, good luck, buddy."
Yeah.
So
That's
and then he
awesome.
came in, and I still heard the same thing, but I was like, okay, this is going down in there.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that guy's like sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Honestly, I should share him your info. Actually,
Hell yeah.
he's badass. Makes a whole bunch of shit.
Was this the
Raps and sings.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Was this the first time you like worked with original vocals like that? Like the past few songs?
I think there was one before this, if I remember right. But then, like, yeah, this was like, it was kind of my goal with this package of music I have right now. It's just like trying, like, it's always hard to get the food references into stuff, and like most of the time I'm using samples and stuff. So it's really nice to like just tell like a UK grime rapper like, yo, do whatever you want, but include some food in there. And,
Yeah.
and then boom.
Yeah, just
Can you just
I
drop a
don't,
little
I don't
something
care if
for
you're
me?
making an analogy
Yeah.
or you're specifically talking about a fucking parfait or something,
Mm-hmm.
but get it going.
Yeah, and honestly, I think they really enjoyed it too, because I feel like a lot of people go to them and are like, "Hey, just do whatever. I don't really care, as long as it sounds cool."
Right, and then they're like, "Fuck, what do I write
Yeah.
about?"
Having direction helps a lot.
Yeah.
for sure, especially for
Yeah.
lyrical shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
that's a big up.
yeah, it's been really
Big up.
fun, and I'm trying to bring like all of them out to Denver eventually, so it should be cool.
Oh
Hell
shit!
Fuck.
Get some MCs when you play Black Box. Just fucking
Yeah.
being
Oh,
hype
it'd be
guys.
so sick.
Yeah.
dude. I love
Ah.
MCs at the show.
Yeah.
Like a good MC.
Pussy clap.
I mean, a bad MC doesn't help, but if it's a good MC, fuck, it changes the vibe. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should mesh well with everything else that I
Fuck
got.
yeah, dude.
So
Fuck yeah. What up, Grands Balls? Welcome to the show.
So when you're working with a vocalist like this, do you just send them like some sort of vague sketch of like an idea you would want to work with, and then like rewrite the song, or do you already like have the song kind of fleshed out and you're like, here's your sections, here's your parts in the song, like send it? Like, what's that process?
It varies a little bit, but so the folder I made like I think around 20 beats and just had them ready, and like some of them were more like a minute 30, and it was just kind of like something that for them to start with, and like
Mhm.
a couple of those ones they ended up just like duplicating it so they could do 2 verses, and then once they sent it back I like redid it. But then
Sure.
like some of them were like I'll start with other acapellas and then just write out a tune and then pull the acapella off and pass it to them. So it's been a little mix of both. And then like a couple of the tunes with Victor, like we like one of them we started with acapella, another one he just like sent me and I was like, oh, this needs a vocal. And so I did a little bit to it, but then I got the vocal and then I finished it kind of thing. So there's a lot of different types for sure.
Victor is Any Heights. Shout out to that buddy.
In the chat.
Alumni of the pod.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Number one most on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number one guest.
100 times basically. He's every other episode at this point.
Just about.
That's cool though, man.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I usually don't want like a lot of vocals, which the last time I did this with Barris, I sent him a beat and then he just wrote like a full song on top of it. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll go with this. We'll just make it happen. But I do feel like I should be a little more direct about that. Like, I just want a few lines.
Yeah.
Give me
and
8
then some
bars,
like ad
4
libs here
bars.
and there or something, but like just kind of a really crisp concept, and then
Yeah.
all you have to do is nail it. See, it should be easier.
Yeah, and that's
Kind of. Yeah. Anyway.
That's kind of cool too about it is like there's parts where like I have like 16 bars and then there's a 16 bar drop after, and then like kind of like varying it, and then there's some that are more hip hop where it's just like bars the whole time, and then there's like I just like the variation honestly, and then like they've sent me like there's like this is a special for Chef Wamp kind of a thing, and like so I can use those in any tune.
Oh, nice.
I have a
Oh,
bunch
yeah.
of little ad libs and stuff.
Nice.
So,
Fuck
little
yeah.
little like
Fuck
tags
yeah.
or whatever.
yeah.
Honestly, tags are starting to become a thing in the
Yeah.
electronic scene.
They've been a thing for a minute, but
They
yeah,
have been, right?
they're
But
starting to heat up.
yeah, it's
Oh,
starting to
yeah.
heat up a little bit more than I feel like ever.
Yeah, so
I don't want to say ever actually, because I don't really know, but
there's some deep
In your
lore
perception.
right
in my
here
perception.
is Albie, who's been on the show also.
Shout out
Shout out
Albie.
Albie.
Oh,
His girlfriend recorded my tag like 3 years ago, maybe
Oh.
4.
sick.
And the prompt I gave her was, "Hey, can you moan my name into a mic?" And so I've been using that forever, and it's like the sickest thing.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Shout out Albie.
Caleb, can you
Oh,
give
yeah.
a little example
Oh,
of
yeah.
what that might sound like?
Chef Wamp.
Yeah.
Ooh, bam. There you got another.
You gotta put the
Boom,
O
there's
on
a
the
new one.
beginning. Oh shit. That's it.
Oh, Chef
There you go.
Wamp.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Which is funny because that
is.
has like nothing to do with cooking.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Makes no sense.
Dude, it's the sex kitchen.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
why you do.
I guess.
Chef Wamp.
Right. That would make more sense to me.
Daddy Wampus.
Whisker Beats says, "Do you cook up a meal before you cook up a song, or do you cook up a song before you cook up a meal?"
Ooh.
Good question.
That's a great question. I love this question.
It varies by the day. There's a lot of days where I get lost making a tune, and then I don't eat till 1 in.
Fair.
Dude,
But then
been
there's
there.
also days where I'm squeezing in 2 hours before I go to work and cook a lot of food. So
Yeah.
yeah,
What is the whole thing
Indeed.
with working out? Is it better to eat before the workout or after the workout? That's how producers should think about it.
I think it's after, but I'm
Yeah.
not.
Is it after?
positive.
I have no idea. I'm not.
I mean,
There's
eating
lots of
directly
discussion.
after is very good. Eating
Okay.
before is also good.
All right, so get your session in. Unless it's like 12 hours and then you end up like Wampus and fucking go till 1 in and don't eat. Maybe don't do that.
It's worth it.
Yeah. It is worth it. It's so worth it.
Yeah, when
You're
you
in the
get
zone.
into that zone, it's
Exactly.
nothing
like,
beats that.
yeah. Your body, your stomach's not even growling. It's not even telling you you're hungry. You're all brain. You're all on the zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, go flow.
Go flow.
Go Flow from fucking Progressive. Is that where she's
Oh
from?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Wow. That was great.
Angela's White Milla.
It looks like it's some kind of
Nice.
Yeah.
Best viewers.
Spam bot. Let's go.
spam. Probably an OnlyFans.
Sick.
Look at you,
Sick.
Ethan. You're pulling in an audience.
Every-
tonight.
Yeah.
Everybody should fucking click on that.
Shout
shit.
out this girl's OnlyFans for sure.
Oh yeah, go download
know
all
why
of
I
her stuff.
can't.
And whatever that page leads to, download all of it.
don't know
That's
why
cool, though,
I
man.
can't.
Yeah, I don't know how that works at all.
So you're working with Vocalists a lot.
Band.
You're prepping for 1 million sets in the next 5 days, basically.
Yeah, it feels
been
like it.
banned.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
a lot going on.
Couldn't even imagine. Like, I was prepping for like my set coming up and then our in Vegas set coming up, and like that enough just doing the two. We're like planning everything, and I'm like, oh my god, like this is insane. How do people like tour and shit like that? And you're like,
They play
Oh,
the
yeah, I
same
gotta-
shit over and over again.
is that the thing?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was looking into Taiki Newlight recently, and like he has a couple sets on the 1000 Tracklist website or whatever.
Mm.
And like, so I was looking for tunes, and then I opened all of them, and they're like the same. Like one tune out here,
I saw 'em the
one
other
tune
day.
out there, and I was like,
No
"Whoa,
shit.
bro! Like I could never do that."
I know.
Yeah,
that's
it's wily.
If you're just playing in new places all the time,
Yeah, that's
You
the
know,
one thing
like-
about it.
Yeah,
you got a
that's-
set that you're rocking, and then you make little basic changes here and there. I could see that.
I guess that is fair. Yeah.
If you want to have it planned. I also
Yeah.
like not planning it, though,
Ooh.
See,
and having like a set of songs that I want to play.
Yeah, and then just free balling it.
Yeah.
Mm.
See, I definitely consider myself a producer over a DJ. So like, all my sets are planned, and like I like produce tunes, like cut them up
Mhm.
just for my sets and all that kind of stuff.
Totally.
But then also like, with all these sets I have coming up, they're all a little bit different, so that's kind of nice. Like, this Friday is like a back-to-back with two homies, so it's just like I'm just gonna bring a stack of tunes and we're gonna freestyle.
Yeah.
But then like, the following one at the bowling alley is like a heavier lineup, so I'm gonna go heavier. And then we're doing the Hilux in Vegas show, and that one I'm planning. We're just doing a dubbed in showcase for the first 30 minutes, so we're only playing tunes from the dubbed in. So that one will be kind of freestyle also. And then I got a secret show that hasn't been announced yet, but
Hey.
California, if you're there,
Oh, keep an eye out.
yeah.
Let's
But
go.
that one is like they asked me to play mostly original, so I gotta do it to them.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, they
Fuck yeah.
specifically were like, give us the chef.
Yeah, they
That's
listen.
cool.
It's a couple homies, and they really loved my albums and stuff. And
We
they're
want
like,
the main
we want to
course."
hear it all. And we're
Hell
like,
yeah.
all right,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
We want the lobster bisque.
I would always
Ooh.
want that, basically.
Same.
Lobster
I
bisque.
want to hear the originals from a producer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so like I've been doing a lot of those battles at the Black Box, and like I haven't been playing all original sets. And then shout out my homie Fox in the chat. He just played a battle, and he played like half the set was my tunes, and I was like, damn, I should play more of these. Like,
Nice, nice.
Hilarious.
Yeah, for sure. You should.
so
Absolutely.
yeah, they sound great. So
Yeah.
why not? Like,
Right.
so yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I'm definitely, yeah, I'm looking forward to like, especially with this new batch of tunes I have, I'm definitely looking forward to like playing more originals. And it's just hard. I have so many homies that are making great stuff. So it's just like,
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I go back and forth.
Dude, also I gotta say though,
Playing the homies tunes is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
when so you were at Black Box when Fox was playing all.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
That's
got
the
to
best.
just, dude. I know. You got to
That's
just
the
be
best.
like, oh, I'm testing all of my songs right now, and I'm like dead center in the.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
And
jealous
then
of that.
like, yeah, it was like the beginning of the night. There was barely anybody in the room, so I was like in the sweet
Yeah.
spot. And then like all the tunes that weren't mine that he was playing, like I mastered at least 50% of them. So it was just like, oh, this is great. I love
Yeah.
this.
Hell yeah.
That's nice.
Fuck
that
yeah,
is
that's
what's
so
up.
good.
Yeah, it was like personal sound check almost.
Right. Right.
Exactly. That's something we've talked about on the pod so much is like we either need to get like a homie who will just let us into somewhere like the Black Box or like a cool sound system venue place so we can
Mhm.
just test our songs, or we need to just like fucking buy our own rig and buy a warehouse at some point and
Yep.
just always have that.
Yeah.
But,
I would
like,
love to have that.
I want
Yeah.
that so bad.
Hell yeah. That's the goal for sure.
That's the goal.
Shout out QZilla94. Well, welcome to the show, bud.
Hell yeah. That's the homie Q. He's an up and comer.
Shout
for
out
sure.
the homie Q.
Shout out Fox.
Oh,
of
we love you
course.
too.
All right, let's talk about production things.
Yeah. How we
Yeah.
going
Huh?
in?
Okay.
You know,
Talk about some production things.
what, 20 minutes in.
I got one.
Yeah, go for it.
So I was listening to Seppa and Bill today on Bill's podcast,
Nice.
and something they were bringing up
Is
was
this a new one?
no, it's an old one.
Okay.
Not super old, but whatever the most recent Seppa one is.
Right.
One of them was saying they got some info from Supertask, if you guys know Supertask.
Mm-hmm.
And Supertask is really pumped on this idea of trying to get like the simple waveforms in his songs. Cuz he thinks those like translate those kind of waveforms translate the best on a bigger system cuz it's cleaner,
Sure.
it's simpler, it's not like pushing
Yeah.
the speakers in like a weird way compared to like some extremely evolving sound where the waveform just like looks like noise basically and it's like fucked up. So what are your guys' thoughts on like, do you think about that or like do you try and mix the two, or do you guys have a process or any thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. Like my low end is always like just my Moog sign, and like that's like no distortion really, very minimal, and just keep it simple down there. And then yeah, like a lot of like the high end, I keep a lot of width out of there, just kind of similar reasoning, but yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Do you so when
The,
you're
the highs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
high is good move.
That Christmas tree.
Yeah,
Caleb and
Yeah,
Dave love
Christmas
that
tree.
shit.
Christmas tree vagina.
The,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christmas tree vagina.
So when you're making your bass sounds, do you specifically like cut the basses at like 110 hertz or whatever, and then replace it with like a really pure sine wave?
Well, so sometimes I'll cut it with EQ if it needs it, but a lot of the time I'm just using Soothe to sidechain my sub to the bass. So like I'll leave
Okay.
the sub
Whoa,
in
really?
there.
I've never
Yeah.
seen anyone do that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'll just have a big old spike on the low end of Soothe,
Yeah.
put it on my main bass, and then it's just reading from the sub. So like there'll be times where it's not doing anything and like it lets a little sub through from the original, but most of the time it's getting rid of it.
And even if it didn't
Interesting.
get it through 100%, maybe that like 5% that like phases with the sub adds just
Yeah.
like a little bit of
Mhm.
organicness. So it's not a perfect fucking just off on sub. kind of
Exactly.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool. That's cool. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that. That's fun.
Yeah, I
like
use
the Soothe
Soothe a
sidechain.
lot in like those creative ways. Like another like secret tip I'll let out is like you can take Soothe and parallel chain it, so do a dry chain and then a Soothe chain and side chain the Soothe to the dry chain, and it'll just boost everything, but like the right frequencies instead of like it's just like it's almost like EQing, like, oh, I want this higher, like it just does it for you kind of thing.
Interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird.
So I do that a lot. Like when I have a bass that's just like, oh, I want to push it a little bit harder, like I'll just throw that on there and like dial in the volumes on the two chains.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Shout out 2 Chainz real
Yeah.
quick.
Shout out the 2 chains. The dry and the wet.
But yeah, back to the
Chains.
the basic shapes. I definitely use a good amount of basic shapes. I mean, all of my sound design usually comes
Yeah.
from some kind of basic shapes. And when it gets too wily, I usually throw it away. But recently, I've been doing a little bit more basic shapes just because I love EEPROM, and EEPROM will just unabashedly just throw a sine wave,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or not a sine wave, a square wave.
Square.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's just full bore, loud as fuck, just
Unadulterated.
yeah, with
just,
like a little bit of reverb, and you're like, that's the coolest sound I've ever heard ever.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what the
Mhm.
fuck? Especially live, like that shit fucking
Yeah.
slams.
Yeah. Isn't a square wave the like technically loudest waveform you can make?
I don't know, but it's odds, right?
Yeah, it's odds.
Odd harmonics.
I feel like I've heard people say that, and they explain it why, but I don't really remember.
It just is
but
always
it makes
on.
sense.
It's
Yeah,
always
it's
on.
always on.
Because it's always either on or off perfectly with the speaker cone.
There's no off. It's just
Or
on.
sorry, positive and negative.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's either forward or backward, but
Yeah.
it's never in the neutral position really.
Oh,
other than on its way to the other position,
Right.
which it does immediately.
Right.
I've been trying to
Yeah.
make a lot of like Joker type basses lately, and like I was like trying too hard at first, and then I started just stacking octaves of square waves and like a bunch of reverb, and it's like, oh, it's that simple.
Yeah.
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and like
You said Joker?
Joker, yeah.
I don't know Joker.
But I have like a Moog sub 37, and like just using the basic shapes from that, or like just adds that little bit of texture.
Yeah, it's got a
and
little bit of
nice.
warmth and kind of.
Yeah, they're not
fuckery.
perfect shapes. You know?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
You get a little juice off of it.
A little juice.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I will use basic shapes a lot, but they almost always are getting, some FM or some, they're getting fucked with a lot to where they aren't necessarily turning out that way after the fact.
Mm.
But yeah, I just hate sterile sounding like waveforms. I do not like that.
That's always my problem. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of the time, if you just use the basic shapes and there's not a lot of like modulation going on, it just sounds like a very like basic thing. And that's when it blows my mind when people like EEPROM just drop a fucking square wave and you're like, why? Why does it sound so good? Like, what's happening?
Right. I mean, there's definitely some.
It's getting distorted.
Yeah,
and
there's
shit.
some subtleness going on. That he's-
Something's warping the waveform shape.
Yeah.
Also, pitch modulation will do you a lot of juice for that.
Yeah, and it's coming out of an analog.
Right.
Because he's got a big all rack system.
Yeah, he
so,
loves his analog.
Yeah, so it's not just like coming out of phase plant or serum.
Right, where it's digitally a perfect binary fucking...
Right. Restraint says, don't forget though, basic shapes might be great for filling the full capabilities of one section of a speaker system. Filling low end with sine wave will only occupy subs. You still got all that lovely room in mid-range and highs.
Oh yeah.
It's true.
So is he saying...
Don't forget.
Don't fucking forget,
Never.
dude.
You could even say never.
Never
forget.
Never forget. It's true.
Never say never. What is John saying? I'm confused. Is he just saying like have a square or a saw and fucking filter it? So you just get those little tasties in the mid-range? Is that what he's saying?
I'm not sure what he was responding to specifically.
That's fair. It is definitely good to think about. I had a phase where I would do a similar thing as you sometimes, where you just cut out like the sub of your bass sound and just have the single sub.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like slowly moving up over time, being like, well, what if I give myself like 2 harmonics? So it's like a little more like solid down there.
Yeah.
And then eventually being like, okay, well, what if I give it 3? And then what if I like play with the volume of the second and third harmonic to like modulate over time, and then like you just keep going. So like I don't know.
Next thing you know, you're just making a bass sound.
Yes, and then you revert back to square one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends. Sometimes I'll have just like a straight sub under a bass sound, but like a lot of times I like incorporating it. Like it'll just be in the sound design process that I add a sub underneath the bass. I'm not like thinking of it like, oh, this is a top bass and this is the sub. It's just like one sound on one track.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
I like starting from just a sine and then like building a big chain, but then I have the same sign kind of like layered
split out. Yeah, same.
Oh, so I gotta ask, what kind of chain are you building on our little sine wave buddy, huh?
Oh man, a lot. I've been using Melda stuff a lot. Wave shaper, wave folder.
Yes, dude. Wave folder.
Big ups.
I've been obsessed with since Andre Copycat came on the pod.
Yeah.
Whew. Just for one knob, literally the symmetry knob.
Yeah.
Yeah, the symmetry knob fucks shit up.
It fucks shit up.
It's wild. And then the kilohertz wave or shaper table.
Shaper table.
I've
been fucking
crazy.
with that a little bit recently.
Yeah. That thing
is fun.
So like I just have a bunch of crazy wave tables. I'll just throw them in there and then put a little bit on top of a sine kind of thing, and it like just adds, like I can't even like describe it almost. It just adds what you need. Like,
Sure.
It has what you need, man.
It's just
yeah.
the
Well,
spice
I
rack.
mean, talk about a way of doing wave shaping where you can like easily and quickly find something that kind of fits into your palette of sound that you're already working with, you know?
yeah.
Because it's just a bunch of wavetables, or you can add your own wavetables in there,
Yeah.
and then you just scroll through and flip it around until it starts to sing, and then you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is pretty dope. Yeah.
And then so I use Trash 2 a lot too. So it's like some combination of those four. It'll be like my mid range ish, and then like I have Texture. I use that on the highs a lot.
Oh,
Shout
that
out
one
Texture.
seems fun.
I forgot about that plugin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I'll kind of just like take whatever I make on the mids and throw it on the highs with Texture at the front of the chain.
Sure.
And just maybe throw an amp up there and
Yeah.
like
Amp is
yeah.
low key Ableton's best fucking stock plugin.
Yeah, and I like Saturator a lot. Like the medium curve is just like I use that way too much. What else? I mean, like a lot of reverb, like convolution, and like just using reverb in creative ways, and like even on basses, like I'll use like really short decay times, but give it like space kind of thing.
Ambience.
Have you ever
Yeah.
played with Melda's convolution?
A little bit.
Little
I
bit?
just don't like the interface that much. Like
Yeah.
I've been getting used to the shaper, the wave shaper and the wave folder. Like I've been getting used to that
Yeah.
more. But like kilohertz and Ableton hybrid reverb are both more like user friendly. So
Yeah.
I tend to just grab those.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think you can. So the reason I bring up Melda's convolution is you can sync it to your sample library.
Nice.
So you can just go through all of your like whatever sounds and use those as impulse responses.
Okay.
And I'm assuming can hybrid do that?
You
Or,
can
like,
just
can
drop them in.
You can just drop them in. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
like more or less the same thing.
So I don't have it like reference, but I have like a folder of like convolution stuff that I like to use. Like
There you go.
there's
okay,
some like
yeah.
melodic stuff, but like what I use convolution the most for is like spring texture. I have like a bunch of like King Tubby springs
Oh,
and
no
like
shit.
all this
Yeah.
old school stuff.
What?
And yeah,
I love springs, dude. I don't have enough.
Can
yeah.
we get that? That sounds like a rare find.
Yeah, I
I
would
got
kind of
you.
love
pack.
those.
I got you.
Yeah, I would love
Dude,
those.
that-
I'll hit you up
thank
on the
you.
Discord.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so sick.
Fuck yeah.
For sure.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I love just that texture. Like you can make the snares with the echo and like kind of make it work, but then throwing that convolution on there just brings it all together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what's up.
It's hard to get the dub snare without a good spring.
Yep.
It's so specific. Any Heights says, do you think a lot of the basic shape love these days is a result of the shapes becoming more complex with modern day limiting / clipping impacts on the waveform? Restraint then adds, I think we desire higher fidelity, and it's easier to achieve higher quality sound design with simple starting signals.
Mm.
sure.
I'd say I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fully agree with that. And that's why I don't use them very much.
You're not trying to go.
I do not want my shit to sound high fidelity. I feel like we figured out high fidelity about 5 years ago, and now it's like, let's make it actually a little more interesting. High
little more
fidelity just
fucked
kind
up.
of sounds boring these days.
Yeah, it's about bridging that gap.
Yeah.
So, I think people just decided to use high fidelity in a boring way.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think we figured it out, and people were just like, "Oh, that's it. Like, let's just keep using the same thing everyone's using." I think now somehow we have to just like fucking push it. Keep doing the high fidelity thing, but like get interesting tones out of it somehow, which is very hard. But that's always my problem with using the basic shapes is like you more or less like end up with a very similar tone every time, right?
Yeah.
So I always try and go into the fucking weird waveform territory, and like things instantly get messier and kind of grosser.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly jealous of you, Dave, that because I do like the low fidelity sound in a lot of ways, but like if I'm trying to make
I
like,
don't want low fidelity.
Yeah, I think high fidelity and low fidelity is like not necessarily the right words.
It's not the
Okay.
right. That is the problem with this conversation. Is high fidelity. Yeah, I don't know. When things sound super clean, which is what I'm thinking with high fidelity, is clean, crispy, fucking like very, very like rigid.
Washed.
Yeah.
It's very washed.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just ends up sounding boring to me. I haven't heard
That's
a
fair.
song that sounds like what I would think of as high fidelity, and maybe I'm just thinking of it in a different way than everybody else is. But
Which is fair.
yeah, I haven't heard one that I'm like, ooh, like I'm like, cool. It sounds like clean. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. It sounds kind of boring actually.
Right.
Sounds like a basic wave shape to me, which comes in every single synth right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Right.
And I just find it boring.
Yeah, I feel like the new Ivy Lab album is a good example, or at least their last couple albums, because it is high fidelity,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
it's so fucking dirty.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
not
Super
like
dirty.
not
Yeah.
dirty and like, oh, it's fucking nasty. Like it's like it feels physically dirty, like somebody
Yeah,
poured
the
dirt all over
Yeah.
the fucking record table,
Yeah.
but still it's like, oh, like it's so
It's also loud and clean.
Yeah.
In a way.
But
Um,
it sounds like it's been fucking
Yeah.
drugged behind a truck for a couple hours.
Yeah, I definitely I was told in the very beginning, learn the rules so you know how to break them and that kind of stuff. So
yes, that shit.
yeah, it's just like
Yep.
learning how these
Absolutely.
sounds work so I can make them dirty and make it still sound good but dirty kind of thing. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. How do you do that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have like a little something that you constantly do where you're like, oh, I'm breaking the rules?
I mean,
a little
you
bit.
told us some things there.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
texture.
Some
But what else besides texture?
distortions
I-
and the texture.
I layer a lot of natural ambience with my stuff.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And just
Beautiful.
those I'll get noisy restaurants and
Yep.
just layer them in there kind of low, but if you're listening on headphones you can hear it for sure.
Mhm.
And
yeah, that shit's key.
and
Mhm.
then on vocals a lot lately I've been they've been coming in back too clean, and I'll just throw an amp on there at 5% and just dirty it up.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of crank
Hell
on
yeah.
it.
Yeah, clippers, limiters, that kind of stuff. Just pushing them just a little too far, just giving it a little bit of that top end
Yeah.
crispiness.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you are you kind of just like a one long ambient sample and call it good guy, or do you like to stack a couple and fill out the stereo field? Or
I have songs that are 20 ambient tracks. for
Let's
sure.
go,
layer it
20?
up. Yeah.
Woo!
Birds and bugs and all this kind of stuff. And
And
then,
Yeah,
Yeah.
bees. Can't forget the bees.
exactly.
Can't forget the birds.
You
and
could
the
throw an
bees.
elephant in there and no one
Yeah.
would really
Mm.
even notice. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a song that has bear, moose, all that kind of
Yes,
stuff.
dude. That
Yeah.
dude. Honestly,
Skinwalkers.
I gotta say, shout out Elks. They
Yeah.
make an insanely fucking weird
That's the
sound.
Put Bigfoot
the
on
sound
there.
of the ring race.
Bigfoot on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, put Bigfoot.
Yeah.
He's got a really memorable sound. Everybody
He
knows
does.
it.
He does.
I definitely do way too much with all that stuff.
Mm.
Yes. Okay.
There's a track on my last album, the Breakfast one. It's called Orange Juice, and I literally found all the orange samples I could find, and so there's probably this group of 50 sounds, and it's all these 50 sounds within 8 bars. So there's all these just little tiny textures on every single sound.
Yes. Let's
Nice.
fucking go.
I
Let's
love doing
go.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's fucking sick.
One of my songs I have released, Bioluminescent, in the first breakdown after the first drop, I was all pumped on ambience, and I did a similar thing with your oranges where I found as many elephant samples as I could find, and I got to 30 or 40 or whatever number, and yeah, placed them randomly, and then processed it in whatever fun way, delays, reverbs, granular and shit, and it sounds so fucking insane.
Yeah.
If you just solo this one layer, you're it's almost like a hellscape from Doom or something.
Or
It's
like a
just
zoo.
yeah, or zoo with way too many elephants. Yeah, I love that shit.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up granular actually, because that's something I do a lot. I'll write out a whole tune where it's 90% done, and then just throw the like export right in Granulator and like just go for like 45 minutes twisting knobs.
Yes.
And then like I'll layer that stuff into my transitions, so it's like it just brings everything together, makes it feel more cohesive.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like
That's a Mr. Bill trick right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like when I write albums and stuff, I will link every track together. So I put all of them into one project, and then like it's, if you listen to it like on Spotify, it's continuous.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I'll use Granular to like kind of smooth those out. And like, so I'll do Granular for every track and then have that folder right there and just kind of like mesh it together in one. So like I'll export all of them and then have them in one Ableton project, like 18 tracks, and then just go through and piece it all together. So
Hell yeah.
Right, smart.
When you're like stacking fucking 10 to 50 layers, are you just keeping them all as like 2-minute things going through the song, or are you like fading them in and out for specific sections?
So like the one with the 50 example was like more like little one shots here and there, but like every 8 bars, like it was
Okay, sure.
But then like the more ambient stuff with like 20-ish layers, like I'll have like a bear hit here and then like it like doesn't happen, like it'll loop eventually, but like not for a while.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
But then there's like some like bugs where I'll get like a minute and a half recording and I'll just like duplicate that out for the 4 minutes of the track or whatever.
Totally.
And like link it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely like it's different every time for sure.
That makes sense, right?
I feel like those ambient layers enable you to make something that sounds a little more high fidelity without it sounding as like clean and like boring and
yeah,
you know, like
Totally.
Right.
I mean, I do the same thing, just putting random ambience on things to give it that a little bit more like life for the speaker to do things with.
Yeah, like I hate like most standard intros, so I'm always trying to like get something that's different, and like the ambience helps, the granular helps. Like I'm just trying to like switch it up always, and like I always hear like I call it the peekaboo build, where it's just like that drum that keeps building and building.
Yeah,
I'm
annoying.
like, dude,
I haven't
hate
used
this.
a snare build in years.
Same.
And
Both
like,
of you really haven't.
I haven't really used a build in years.
yeah, I
I
hate that.
I don't like builds
And
that
like
much.
when homies send me tracks, I'm always like, just cut the 8 bars. It'll be fine from there to there. Like you don't need that.
Right,
You're
just let it hit.
Yeah.
This is not EDM.
Yeah, exactly.
Can we
EDM's
not
dead.
make EDM?
It's crazy.
I feel so isolated.
You don't
now.
have to be
I
Hardwell
love
every time.
build-ups.
Yeah.
I love them so much. It's honestly a problem though. Like I need to.
Austin
fucking-
does kind of slay at the build though.
He
thank
does,
you.
but the first part of recovery is admitting that you have a problem. So
Yeah.
you're on your way.
That's true. That's true.
On your way.
We did have the no build-up month.
Yeah, and I never stopped.
You guys never stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Totally.
Oh man, I was so happy to get back to him. I was so excited to make a build-up after not making one for a month. I do really need to. It is like a crutch though. I need to figure out how to. I don't know.
Yeah, because I like the challenge of creating energy out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like when you do a build, it's like really easy to like, oh, and then the energy drops out, and then it's building and it's building.
Yeah, I get a little bored
Like-
in a build up.
Very much like a template, formulaic kind of
And
process at this point.
Yeah, it's almost it's not necessarily too easy. It's just like predictable.
Yeah.
Where I like having the unpredictability
Yeah,
of just like,
surprises.
oh my god, it just hit. Like I love that shit. Or like it's still predictable because you're instead of building, you're taking away. You know,
Yeah.
you're just kind of
Which is a
slowly
move.
dropping things out,
Yeah.
and then it's just quiet for a second. Everybody's like, "Wait, why is it quiet?" Just fucking slaps.
I also think that like build up thing is like a newer producer thing almost, and it's like you get taught like this is the process, this is how arrangements should be, but it's like you need to go listen to like the people that you actually listen to and like go see them live and see how they're actually doing it. Like most of them aren't doing these build ups. Like,
Right.
they're just like running through tunes and dropping, like giving that space and then just back to the drops.
Right.
Yep. Cutting the bass
Yeah.
Rinsing.
because the fucking drop's not done yet, and they're
Exactly.
moving on to the next drop already.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, even in like a lot of modern techno, there's fucking no build-ups.
Yeah.
It's just like it just cuts for a second, and then it cuts for longer than you expect, and then it fucking just slams,
Hell yeah.
and it's fucking beautiful. Shout out techno.
Hell yeah.
Well, you got some shows to promote, huh?
Yeah, we need to talk about this
Fucking
Dub Den show with
Dub Den.
Vega.
Hell yeah.
So yeah,
We
like,
should talk about it maybe when he gets back.
I know, right? I guess I'll start with like the Dub Den is just like.
Oh yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, so my homie Noah Fox is in the chat. He's the founder, but then he brought on me and another homie, and we're just helping him build it out and curate good lineups and good like compilations and releases and that kind of stuff. But some of our goals, like, we're specifically with the shows, is to like bring people out that have never played at the Black Box before, and like get like names that the Denver crowd specifically hasn't heard of before, and just like bring up the homies, honestly, because it's like,
Hell yeah.
it's, you know, like I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for homies. So I'm trying to like return the favor and bring all these people up. And
Fucking gentlemen.
Goddamn right.
I got a lot of homies too that are like produced, but they haven't like DJ'd before. And like, so we're doing this Dub Den showcase where this first one is going to be me and Fox like going back to back, just playing all the homies from the Dub Den's tunes. But eventually it's going to turn into like, I'm going to bring up, like, Victor, for example. He's going to come up with me for 30 minutes, and I'm just going to show him, like, what it actually takes to run a set and, like, give him that platform. And then the next month, I'm going to be like, all right, you're playing an hour by yourself. Figure it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I
Fuck
wanted
yeah.
to talk
Big
to you
ups.
about this. I've
Yeah.
Oh,
known
he will have
Victor
no
for like
problem
8
with
years
that.
now, and I've never seen him even play a show.
So, yeah, that's going to happen
Fucking
soon.
Yeah, okay, thank you for fucking doing that. We need to get Vic doing some shit.
I know.
Yeah, shout out Vic.
Vic,
Vic.
yeah. Dude, hell yeah.
So,
Dude, whenever I'm playing out, like for instance, just playing over at John's house the other day with Copycat, we were going back to back over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, just like making everybody else stay up for a little bit longer
Yeah,
than they wanted to, because Copycat likes to do that shit. He likes to just play after everybody's done with the party.
But then he gets you back in the zone. He
Yeah.
gets you like
Yeah.
pumped up, and you're like, okay,
But
we can keep going.
I was just throwing Victor's tunes down like the whole
Hell
time, because
yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll play one of Victor's again. Like, I don't give a fuck. And also, Victor makes fucking sick ass tunes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I
Yeah,
love
they
his
slap
music.
every time.
But yeah, so we're going to start the shows with the 30 minutes, and that also kind of gives
Okay.
the night a little bit of a stagger because the main room is usually like on the hour, so we're trying to be on the half hour just to give it more movement and like give people more of a reason to go back and forth kind of
Hell yeah.
thing.
Sure.
And
That's
then-
honestly fucking genius. That makes so much sense.
Yeah, like I've definitely had circumstances where I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave the main room because my homie's playing right now. So
Mhm.
like staggering it, so I could be like, all right, I'll catch 30 of his set, then I'll go over there for 20 minutes, and then I'll go back, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then so first we have the homie Bro Short. She's a promoter with Mishawaka and stuff, and she actually booked me for a show, so I was like, I'm gonna return the favor and like, let's get you out here. And
Fuck yeah.
she's never played the Black Box, so.
Oh, shout out Bro Short. I can't wait.
And then we got the homie Hilux headlining, and he's from Florida, Secret Alias, and he's killing it. He's making what he calls all-terrain music, so
Love that. I got a song called All
I was
Terrain.
just going to say, we're
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
terrain.
Bitch.
lots of UKG, and he's got some dubstep with a lot of breakbeat influence in
Okay.
it. And then he's got some like 105 stuff that's really cool too.
Ooh,
so
some mid-tempo kind of stuff.
yeah, so just a good variety there. And then we got Vega, which he's a part of,
Let's go.
Yeah.
and they're gonna close out the night.
Dude.
This one
And
is
Yeah.
Worn
just
in
get
and
that club.
Von Klaus.
Von
Yeah.
Klaus.
Yeah.
All been on the pod before.
Yeah.
Get
Dude, we're so pumped to fucking play Black Box. We're so pumped. I can't wait.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I cannot fucking wait.
And yeah, it was really cool to be able to bring you guys out, especially for the first one. Like,
Yeah,
it's
right?
a real homie lineup, so I'm really
Yeah.
stoked on it.
Hell yeah, man.
And then, yeah, like it's just cool to start with this, and then we're also doing a back-to-back with all of them at the end of the night for the last 30, and just like really trying to encourage like collaboration and like being there the whole night and like being a part of the night, like not just like, oh, I gotta play a set and then I'm gonna go home. Like,
Right.
Mhm.
we want you all to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's a fam. It's a family affair.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
Little
so
community vibe.
That
so we're just good. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Send
Yeah,
it.
so we're like starting it. It's a monthly series, and September's the first one, and we also have a collab show this week actually, with Coal Mine Sound. So that's kind of our test run, and then we're
Mhm.
doing our own thing after that.
When is
Hell
that
yeah.
one? When is the one with Coal Mine
September
Sound?
6th.
Oh, 3 days.
Yep, Friday. So
That'll be
Woo.
when this episode comes out. So tonight, if you're watching on
yeah,
Yeah.
come on
YouTube.
out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So and then it's gonna be a monthly series, and yeah. So keep an eye out for October. We're gonna go for some
That's what's up.
Halloweeny vibes for
Dude,
sure.
You're
so.
basically Turning Sound. Turning Sound just got a monthly residency at Black Box, and so did you. Like, fuck.
Yeah, we're
Killing it.
we're doing it.
Let's
So,
go.
it's really cool, and like yeah, there's probably I think it's around 70 people in our Discord,
Let's go.
and a lot of them are in Denver. So we're just gonna be trying to bring out everyone we can, and like
Fuck yeah.
keeping the lineups fresh. Like there's been a lot of lineups recently that are like the same people over and over. Like they'll play Friday and then they'll play the next Thursday, and like it's like, come on, like let's bring the new
Mhm.
people out here. There's plenty
Hell yeah.
of people in Denver. So,
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
and yeah, I'm definitely gonna get you guys out there.
Let's
So
go.
We're gonna
Let's do it.
we're gonna get everybody, all the homies.
Hell yeah.
So
And also, Dubden people should join our Discord.
yeah, please.
Link up.
And everyone in our
know,
Discord,
yeah,
go
we can-
join fucking Dubden.
We can
Yeah.
potentially have some of y'all out on the podcast as well, and we're gonna combine forces here.
yeah.
Fuck it.
It's
Yeah.
Dubden Records on Instagram, correct?
Yep.
Cool. And the Discord's there. I'll link it all in the description, folks.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah.
definitely, we're just trying to build a good community, and like
Fuck
you know,
yeah.
that's the best way to do
That's
it.
what's up.
Just bring everybody up together.
I'm going to say it now, though. All you motherfuckers from Dubden, when you get
Whoa.
invited out, you better throw the fuck down.
Yeah,
Oh.
because
Bring
he's
your
coming
best.
out swinging.
Yeah, we're sending it.
Yeah.
Full send.
Full send, which is what we should all be doing.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like a lot of the people do get these repeat lineups because they're like they have like some clout or something, and like they pull in tickets. But like this is the chance for like all the fucking underground dudes to be like, yo, if we can make this sick and start bringing in people and show people that like some insane shit is happening, it's only gonna get bigger. It's only gonna get better.
Yeah.
So now's the
And
chance.
that's what we need is for you guys to come support, and we can make this bigger. And like, I got big goals for this. Like, we're trying to be in the main room, so let's make it happen.
Let's
Fuck
make it
yeah.
happen.
That's what's
Fuck
up.
yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Appreciate
for having
that.
Me.
It was
Fuck
a
yeah.
fucking productive
Hell
ass
yeah.
episode,
Oh
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, we killed it this one. Let's go.
Dude, okay, we're definitely gonna get you on like a million times more in the future.
do it.
Whoa.
It's happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're gonna bring Fox next time.
Yeah,
Hey.
let's
Hey.
get
Let's go.
we're calling it. All right, Fox, we're calling
Let's
you
go.
out, buddy.
We are.
Do you wanna do a back do you wanna do like a double with him, or should we get him
let's
solo?
do it. Let's
Okay.
do
Yeah,
it.
we could
Hell
do a
yeah.
double.
Let's make it happen.
Hell yeah.
All right, folks.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube, subscribe, you piece of shit, and
That's right.
Yeah.
hit the fucking whatever
listening
buttons
on
you got. Hit a
Spotify,
like. Drop a comment if you have a question.
Do that.
And hopefully we'll answer it on the podcast. And we do this every Tuesday,
Yeah.
That's true.
7:30 Mountain Time.
Yep.
Be here or
Be square.
potentially miss something hilarious.
That's right. And
Mhm.
informative.
Yeah.
And maybe controversial. All right, folks. We'll see you on the flip.
Later, everybody.
Later.
Oh.
Peace.